Hello.
Hi, my name is Prem Sagar. I am from India.
From India. Very cool.
Yeah,
My name is Megan and I'm from the United States.
okay.
So, where in India do you live?
I'm living in southern part of India. My state is Karnataka.
Okay. So, close to the ocean. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not very familiar with India, and geography is not my strong point, but I do know it's a
okay.
very large country. So,
Yeah, yeah.
it that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
not like US. US is large country in area, but in population, definitely India is top now.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
There is no doubt about that. You all could take over the world, so we should be very careful.
Yeah.
And I don't say that to be mean. I do mean that as a joke because
Yeah.
so many people don't think about the population of other countries. It's like, "Oh, you think the US has a lot of people. That's cute. That's cute." Okay. So
I
let's
think
see.
US. I think US population is half of the Indian population, I think, because in 1.4 billion population is now in India.
You know what? I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah,
So it's and from what I hear, it's such a beautiful country. India is absolutely
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, definitely. India is beautiful country. What you
Yeah.
heard? What you heard about India? Anything like merits and demerits, good points and bad points?
I mean, I've heard some bad points. One of my students from India is very self-conscious about her English. And
Yeah.
it's not because, a tutor has given her a hard time or anything. It's because other people, like her coworkers, make fun of
Okay.
her for her English. And it's like, but everyone speaks English differently as it is. I don't speak the same way someone from the UK would, or someone from Australia, or even Canada, and they're right there. We don't all speak the same. So depending on who you're speaking to, the language actually changes.
Yeah.
And the vernacular and the common speech changes. So why is she getting made fun of? I was trying to help her with this and boost her confidence because it's like, no, you're fine. I understand you just fine. So
I
that
think.
would be a pretty bad point. I would be scared to go to India and have someone from India tell me I was speaking English wrong. I feel like it would
you,
happen.
yeah. Yeah, what happened that Indian people they are strong in grammatically they are very strong. You know that that's why that if I speak without grammatically to other people, that suddenly they point out, yeah, you are wrong. Like they,
Okay, so what you're saying is in India, the view on English grammar is it's a hard and fast rule. There's no bending.
yeah, yeah,
Me-
yeah, yeah,
Meanwhile, the rest of us are all like, it depends on where you're from, who you're talking
yeah,
to, if you're
yeah,
writing
yeah,
versus speaking, because I don't speak
yes,
the same way I write, and I
yeah,
try to use a more grammatically correct English when I'm speaking to my students, but I also don't use my southern accent when I speak to my students because you'd never
yeah,
understand me. It's awful. I sound like my teeth have turned to mush in my mouth.
yeah.
So it's one of those things. I would be the one who would go to India and someone would go, "Yeah, you don't talk right." And it's like, but I do, just not here. So, okay, okay.
Yeah, but
So,
I think that whoever that student is, she has taken a lot so serious about spoken English. That's why that yeah, here even in in our if you take our mother tongue or if you take our national language, or it may be Hindi is our national language, but in many different ways we speak many different ways because our Hindi is different. Northern part of India Hindi is different, and even in same state, different slang and fluency is very different.
mm,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
dialectic.
yeah, yeah,
Hindi is as dialectic as English
yeah,
is. That's
yeah.
good. Did you know that there is no official language in the US?
No, just just I speaking with native speakers only. I don't know how it is.
Yeah. So the US has no official language. So you just said Hindi
Okay.
is the official language of India. We have none.
Yo.
So it's
Yeah.
even weirder if someone says, like, because this happens a lot in the US, unfortunately, and I've witnessed it a time or two. Someone will be on their phone in a grocery store or something, and they'll be speaking another language. Could be Spanish. That's very prevalent
Yeah.
in the South.
Yeah.
Um, but North Carolina actually has a very large Indian community, so it's not
Oh.
impossible to hear Hindi out and about. And someone who is clearly white bread American goes, "This is America. We speak English here. You need to speak English." There's no official language here. And really, if you want to get into it, we stole the land from the Native Americans, so perhaps we should be speaking Cherokee because we live in North Carolina and that's Cherokee territory. Like,
Yeah.
it's very awkward. It's very awkward. Meanwhile, I would
Okay.
be the person who goes, on like a tour of India, and I'm just like, pretty colors, shiny stuff, snake, and then I would run. Snakes, tigers. I have a friend online who said before he moved to the U.S., he was born in somewhere outside of Bombay, Mumbai,
Mumbai. Mumbai. Yeah.
Mumbai. Uh, he said that a tiger just wandered through his parents' village, and I'm like, it's a big cat. I would want to
Yeah.
pet the cat. That would be how I died. I would be like, it's so pretty and it's a kitty. Come here. And then I'm just dead. I'm that dumb
Yeah.
American. It's furry and I want to touch it. I want a pet. So it's on my bucket list though, not to get killed by a tiger. To visit India. Not getting
Yeah,
killed by a
you
tiger,
know,
not that part.
yeah. India is a beautiful country that different geographical area we have here. That in northern part of India we have Himalayan ranges, means mountains and desert is there, and fertile land is there, and a lot of rivers are there, and even Deccan Plateau in southern part of India is there, and
Hmm.
uh, thick forest is there also, and even beaches and coastal
Hmm.
area. That all you could find all places,
And
geographical
the
places here.
the soil is clearly very nutrient dense and very rich because the amount of spices India
Yeah.
produces,
Yes,
and
yes,
even
yes.
the fruit that
Yeah.
India produces that is so beyond what we can get. For instance, in North Carolina, we can't grow much. The soil is clay. It's not great for much. But uh, from what I've seen from documentary shows, it's
Yeah.
you have so much going on, and it's like it feels like it's not fair that one country has all of that all at once. And then you have the cultural differences between, for instance, Punjab
Yes. Yeah,
and the
yeah.
South, because Punjab is right there next to
Northwestern.
Pakistan, and
Yes.
they're used to hostilities and a tense environment
Yes,
compared
yes.
to, for instance, someone in the South might be.
Yes,
So
yes.
there's a lot to navigate. And honestly, I think it would have to spend like 2 or 3 months in India to be able to get the full effect. And even then, I would
Yes.
fall short. But the food, I would be good with. Everything
Yeah, yeah.
except the vindaloo. I couldn't do the vindaloo. But, but I do love to eat and experience culture. And I'm so jealous of all the spices. I
Yeah.
am so jealous.
Once upon a time, India was a very means it's export spices to other countries, especially
Hmm.
European countries. When
Yes.
in 1453, the Ottoman Turk people they occupied that Constantinople, and that way, the way which goes to Europe country, they shut down, they closed that way, and after that, Columbus Columbus tried to invent way through ocean, but he didn't find. He didn't find. He went
He
to,
ended up
Ba-
over here.
yeah, yeah,
Yep. And that's
yeah,
why they call a portion of the Caribbean islands the West
yeah,
Indies,
Caribbean. Yes,
because
yes,
it's not even close.
yeah,
They're way
yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
yeah. And again, many tried to invent India, but finally, that Vasco da Gama from Portugal country, he found that Indian territory in 1498. Yeah, because of that only spices.
Only, but spices. There was a time spices were worth more than their weight in gold. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pepper, of all things,
Yes,
at one point was worth more than its weight in gold.
yes,
So
yes.
we are. I think at this point the world should just be like, how did India not take over the entire world when they basically had all the money in the world?
Yes.
And the answer is, you guys are just too nice.
Yeah,
But
yeah, and even in silk also, that in medieval and ancient time, that silk also export
oh
India.
yes,
Yes, Indian traders export to many other countries.
probably
We
fabric dyes as well,
yeah, yeah,
pigments,
yes, yes,
because whenever I picture India, honestly, and this maybe because that's what we're fed on American television, and when I picture women in saris, in lengas,
sorry,
and it's
yes, yes,
always jewel tones and bright colors, and you always look so
yeah.
festive. So that's what I think in my head. I'm pretty sure that's a common thing for Americans. It's like, I see that on TV. I think that's the way it is. It's probably not the way it is.
Yeah, Indian, if you want to know, definitely that Indian weddings and ceremonies and festivals, they are very colorful.
I've heard it's like 3 or 4 days for the
5 days,
wedding ceremony. 5 days?
5 days,
Oh
five
my
days,
gosh.
yes.
I know there's the part where the bride gets the henna on her
Henna,
hands,
yes,
and
yes,
and
yes,
there's so much that goes into it. I think Indian brides wear red, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
traditional.
yes,
And
yes.
lots of jewelry
Jewelry,
and
yes, jewelry.
all these different
Jewelry,
festivities.
hands-on
The
henna, and one day is dancing, Sangeet, we call it Sangeet program, like dancing.
mm,
And putting turmeric on all means that's also like a play. They will play with turmeric
hmm.
one day. Yeah.
I play with turmeric like when I'm cooking with it, and my skin just turns orange.
Orange. Oh. So I think the turmeric and your color is mixed up and it turn different color.
I mean, I'm very
It
pale.
is.
Clearly, I glow in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dark, uh, and there is no getting this any darker because all it does is turn red and then it peels, and I'm immediately glow in the dark again. I'm
Yeah,
very
yeah.
pale Irish. Clearly, I can't stand the heat. I can't stand the sun.
Okay.
I like both. They don't like me. So, but yeah, in Indian weddings, doesn't the groom usually arrive on an animal, like an elephant, something?
Yeah, sometime. Yeah, sometime.
Sometimes,
What
huh?
happened that that what happened in, I think it's Gujarat or Rajasthan, that in India there is a caste system, like it's a discriminate to one people to other people, like community into community, like caste.
Mm.
Like in US there is a what system is there, like a class system.
Mhm.
Okay, in
So,
US there is a class system, like poor, rich, middle, like this. But in India there is a caste system. Once you're born in higher caste family, definitely till death you are in same caste.
okay.
Okay, so higher caste people and lower caste people, there is a discrimination is there. So lower caste people, they means even in Indian constitution, that all are eradicated, means all discriminations were eradicated, but still in rural area, in some part of city also, in cities also. They are practicing now also. That's why what happened, I don't know that which place particularly, but they resist to ride the horse. Then uh, groom, he came on the elephant.
Hmm. Now I want to
No
ride an
one stopped
elephant.
it. Yeah, no one stopped it because it's elephant.
So there's no way to move between caste systems. Like, say you were born in a lower caste, can you move up?
No, 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 no. It's not
No.
happening. Yeah, not
Can you
happening.
move down?
No, once you're born in same caste, once you're born in particular caste, after death also means your generation also be in same caste.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's very like discriminative. It's not a good system. That
The U.S. has the similar problems as you mentioned with the class system. So
yeah,
okay, at
but
least we're
in
not alone.
but in class system, what happened that they can move from class to another class. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and ups and downs are there. But here, it's not happen. It will not
Hmm.
happen.
So what caste would I be in if I decided to move to India, or do I not get a caste? Is there a
No,
caste for
first of all,
non-Indians?
no, 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 no. There is no caste. There is no caste. But they feel that you are not pure
Mm.
because here pure and impure caste system is pure and impure. If you have non-vegetarian, then definitely you are impure.
Okay.
Yeah. If
I
you
can
have
still
veg,
eat the food, right? I may be in the impure caste, but I want the food. I want to see all the pretty stuff. Darn.
and here I think it's almost 60-70% people they eat non-vegetarian. Higher population is non-vegetarian, but still they practicing pure, impure. That they bar from taking drinking water from public places and entering to they barred entering to temples.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, and all those evil practices we have in here. So it's very difficult to eradicate. After India got independent after 75 year also, we have such kind of uh, problems and discriminations.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's a question for you. And this is one British colony asking another. What's the general opinion of the UK, of Great Britain? Is it favorable from mostly, or are people in India kind of like, no, don't deal with
No,
them?
you know that once upon a time Britain is a it's a like it's a US is a colony of Britain
Mm-hmm.
country.
Yep.
Okay, and even India also before
Yes.
1947 that
Mm-hmm.
we ruled almost 2 to 3 centuries, 200
Mm.
200 to 300 years we ruled by UK people. But
Yep.
here, what happened in earlier. Uh, many countries people they invade India like Mughals. Before them, that Ghaznavi, Muhammad Ghazni, Muhammad Ghori, those who were Muslim kings,
Mm.
invaders. They came sometime and they invade India, and they took a lot of gold and wealth from India, and after so many long time they again came to India, and whatever they found they will take to their country. But they will give they had given a lot of time in between one invasion to another invasion.
Mm.
But what happened in UK means British people when they came to India, continuously they dry up They dry up the Indian wealth. They took all wealth. They ruled India continuously 200 to 300 years, and they took all wealth from India.
So not
Okay.
favorable.
Yeah, not favorable.
It's okay. We
Yeah.
they're an ally to the US, but we don't really have a favorable view. Well, my husband and I
Yeah.
don't. I
So,
actually so my
yeah, yeah.
husband, daughter, and I, we lived in Ireland for 3.5 years. My husband
Ireland.
worked for a
Okay.
company that needed someone in the EU. They originally wanted to send us to London. My husband's response to this, I kid you not, was my wife is a good Scot Irish girl and she kind of thinks that all British people are shady. She's never going to agree to live in London.
Okay.
So we ended up in Cork, Ireland. Much better.
Yeah,
Cost of living
Ireland.
was much better too, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
and
even Irish people also they separated from UK. But once upon a
mhm.
time it was under the it was
The
include.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
the troubles were an 800-year war,
yeah.
and I remember being a kid in the US and seeing news reports of the troubles going on in Ireland. Like it was crazy because we don't actually get a whole lot of foreign news. It's
Yeah.
very strange. Like we think we know what's going on in the rest of the world based on our news. We don't know. And then to come, be in Ireland, be on the other side of the ocean, and realize, oh wow, they get just as little info as we do. Because it's like that's not what you're citing the Constitution, but you cited it wrong. What? What? No, stop. Just stop. So the information gets blocked both ways.
Yeah.
So it's like no wonder the world thinks we're goobers. Oh, they hate us because this is what they see. Mm, that's bad. It's not all what gets aired though. Sometimes Americans are idiots, and then they go abroad and show that to the world. But okay, so not favorable. That's fair. I'm not.
But you know that America is a good country. Why? Because it gave message to the world that there is a in between people, in between person to another person. There is a independence is there, equality, fraternity, liberty is there. Okay, in US. So that's why around the world that they are very like even in India and all those countries. So that's why that Indian people and even other countries also they want to live in US, they want to live in Canada, they want to live in Australia. That they are like their culture is good.
never,
Culture is good. Yeah.
never Australia. Never Australia.
Never. Yeah.
Have you
But
seen the spiders?
yeah, spiders. Yeah.
Australia is home to one of the world's deadliest spiders. It only lives in
Okay.
one area in Sydney. It's called
Okay.
the Sydney funnel web. I don't want to live where I have to shake my shoes to check for spiders before I put my feet in them. That would be scary. Also, I'm just terrified of spiders. I once saw a spider about that big and just burst into tears.
Okay.
My husband looked at me and went, "You are a 30-year-old woman. What are you doing?" And I just went, "It's a spider." I don't like spiders. So that's not good. But maybe New Zealand, but
Yeah.
not Australia.
Okay. The,
So then
yeah.
again, I live in the south of the US where there's tons of venomous snakes,
Oh.
like the copperhead, and somewhere around here are rattlesnakes. I'm not sure where. I've never actually seen a rattlesnake. They're more west than where I am, usually.
Okay.
But copperheads, cottonmouths, water moccasins in general, and coral snakes.
Oh. And
which
how about anaconda? That films are there, big big anaconda
so
showing
anacondas are typically in South America in the
South
Amazon.
America. Yeah.
Um, but then again, so is the bird-eating spider. That's also living somewhere in the Amazon with the
Okay.
anacondas. But
Okay.
our snakes are limited. We have king snakes, for instance, and they're nice because they're not venomous, but they eat venomous snakes. So coral snakes, we have. I don't know if you know the phrase. We have a mnemonic to remember which how to tell what snakes are venomous and which aren't. Which is red touching black is safe for Jack, but red touching yellow can kill a fellow.
Hmm.
And so we have coral snakes, and you can tell because they're banded black, red, and yellow, and the yellow and the red touch, you know that's a coral snake. But then you've got the Florida king snake that eats the coral snake. But they have
Oh,
coral snakes in California too, but they don't have Florida king snakes. They have California king snakes. And those look like coral snakes. But the banding
okay.
is just offset because every other band is black, so red and yellow are never touching. So you've got the California king snake eating the coral snake, but clearly we don't have enough king snakes because there's still coral snakes.
Oh,
And then we have in the
means
south we
they,
have what's called a racer, a black racer. It's fine, but it will try to strike you. It just doesn't have fangs big enough to break the skin. I've got one in the backyard somewhere right now. My dog likes to bark at it.
yeah,
So
like
it's
means there is a like all like these kind of reptiles are there. Okay.
mhm.
Okay.
So it depending on where you are, there's a geographical span for certain wildlife, specifically the snakes. And then you've got the spiders.
Yeah.
There's a spider in my yard that's that big.
Yeah. Okay.
It's called a golden orb weaver, but in the south we call them riding spiders.
Riding spiders. Okay.
They're huge, and their webs are so strong they can catch a bat in flight.
Oh.
So if a bat, because it's blind, it doesn't see the spider, goes straight into the web, it's not going anywhere. The web isn't going to break. It's terrifying. And as big as they are, they're not venomous. At least not to
Oh.
us. They're just really scary. Like you open a door and one just decided overnight to build a web across your doorway, and you're like, oh, okay, no. I'm going out the other door. Mm-mm. Not dealing with that. Um, they're also called banana spiders because they're black and yellow. I don't get it, but oh, I
Yeah,
suppose
we
though,
don't have spiders here. We have only king cobra, like that. Yeah, king
and
snakes.
king snakes, the crate, the little gray snake as well, that's very venomous.
Okay.
Really, no spiders?
No spiders. Yeah,
That's not fair.
yeah.
That's the
I think
that's not
maybe
fair. Oh man, that's not fair.
only we can see here the small spiders there in houses.
So the little spiders that aren't gonna do anything except make a
Yeah,
cobweb
they
every now
can.
and again. That's not fair. Why am I getting terrorized by spiders? You're not. Oh, but you get
Your
terrorized by the snakes and I
your
don't. So there's that. Oh crap. Okay. It's six of one and half dozen of the other.
your
We have
your spiders are too big. Your spiders are too big and very like what we call it, very dangerous.
yes. Well, and the big ones aren't even the dangerous ones, really.
Yeah.
It's the little ones you have to worry about. Black widows and brown recluses. They're deadly.
Oh,
In two different fashions, they're deadly. Typically, a black widow, if you're an adult and you're a healthy adult, it'll make you sick, it won't kill you. A brown recluse causes necrotizing fasciitis, it kills skin cells.
okay.
So it's
Here
bad.
I will
So,
stop you. That it's we are going running out of time.
yep.
Okay, bye.